Oh, I'm all emotional. Welcome to our 245th Sunday gathering. It is really hard to believe. I'm Sandra Champlain. I'm joined here by my wonderful friends Dominic, Scott, and Darren. Today, that last song just touched me in a special place. It was 9 years ago that my Christmas life was transformed. You see, my parents got divorced when I was a kid, and that magic of Christmas seemed to disappear. I didn't like Christmas songs. I didn't like red and green. I didn't like going to the stores and all the Christmas things out. But then I got interested in life after death. I met Scott and Darren and friends. Yes, it was 9 years ago, November, actually. And that joy of Christmas came back with the reality of the afterlife, the things I participated in, the things I've witnessed. And since then, things have just been opening up. So we are kicking off the holiday season. It's the 1st of December. And however we say this month goes is how it's going to go. Friends, we are the captains of our ship. So don't wait for things to happen, make them happen. And today we are just bringing it in, the Christmas spirit. So we welcome you from wherever in the world you are. We have a beautiful Sunday gathering in store for you. I'm not going to say anything else till a little later, but I'm going to send it over to Darren, who has organized the Sunday gathering for today and let you know who's doing what, etc. Over to you at the North Pole, Darren.
Thank you for that, Sandra. Hello, each and every one of you, and welcome to Sunday Gathering 245. And hasn't those 9 years gone quick, Sandra, since we've known you? Very, very quick. And I was only saying to Scott the other day, you all must remember Santa Claus the movie. I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. And you know, it's 39 years old as of this week, Santa Claus the movie. Who would have believed that? It makes us feel very old. But you're only as old as you feel. So for today's Sunday gathering, there's myself who will be doing the chairing and our reading for today. You have Mr. Milligan next to me, who will be doing our prayers and our address for this today. You have Santa Claus between us, who will be just sitting there all cute. And then you have Sandra, hostess with the mostess, who will be doing all the behind the scenes stuff as usual, and our healing session and our words for the week. Well, we'll all be doing a little bit of the words for the week this week. And you've got Dominic Bogue, our wonderful demonstrating medium for today, who will be obviously be doing our demonstration of mediumship. And you're probably wondering, why are we all in our Christmas clothes today? Well, it's the 1st of December, so why not be festive? It's a countdown to Christmas. So we thought, why not? We're going to be festive for you guys today. And there is some Christmas music in amongst all the other music. And all the music today has been chosen by myself, Scott and Dominic. It's been a team effort. And our theme today is believe. So without further ado, I shall hand you over to Mr. Milligan for our opening prayer.
Thank you, Mr. Wynne, and thank you to everyone else who's joining us. And this is the first time for myself to do an opening prayer in my normal attire. But can I just ask you all, wherever you are in the world, however you celebrate life after living, will you honour me and honour the We Don't Die team by welcoming the unseen world? Beloved Creator of all life, for once again we climb the steps to the invisible temple that these earthly hands have not built. As we walk within the great halls, we introduce to you our brothers and sisters who have come to seek the knowledge of life hereafter. As we climb the steps to raise that cup that death has poured, we celebrate life after living, for we now know that death is but a lie. Will you take from us what is needed and pour into the world what you feel needs to be shared? As our medium works this day, will you give him the strength to speak the truth, and may the messages that fall from him go to where it's needed most? Will we celebrate today the coming together under the banner of We Don't Die? And we hope and we pray that whatever power is built goes to the healing balm, for we only heal the need of the spirit and those who have the broken heart. Welcome, friends. Amen.
Okay, I'm now going to go into our reading for today, and I've got two short readings for us. One is on our theme Believe, and one is based on Christmas. Why not? Because it's Christmas time. The Sydney to Melbourne race snakes around Australia's beautiful southeast corner, covering a distance of almost 550 miles. It's considered a real man killer, even by seasoned ultra runners who are used to racing across the hottest deserts and the coldest, most barren terrains on the planet. In 1983, Cliff Young decided to enter the inaugural event. Cliff was not your average athlete. In fact, he was not your average anything. As a cowhand, Cliff was frequently responsible for rounding up cattle after violent thunderstorms. He did this not with the aid of GPS, a Hummer, and a small light aircraft, but by running around on foot after the cloven-hooved scallywags over an area the size of a small US state. He knew he had high levels of stamina, but this was another matter, although because most of the entrants were super fit runners in their prime. Cliff was 61 with little competitive experience. However, the one thing Cliff possessed in spades was a burning belief that he could and would complete the race. He didn't have any self-limiting beliefs. There were calls for him to be banned for his own safety, but whereas the rules excluded runners that were too young, nobody could see anything discriminating against people being too old, so the organisers reluctantly allowed Cliff to run. It was a hot day in Sydney when Cliff turned up wearing overalls and galoshes over his work boots, inviting howls of derision from some of the 150 competitors and growing interest from the press and spectators. The race started, and to nobody's surprise, the farmhand was soon lagging behind the seasoned runners. He had a very strange way of running that meant he barely lifted his feet off the ground and moved forward looking more like a cross-country skier than a marathon runner. Halfway through the first night, Cliff rather remarkably took the lead. Rather than stopping for the traditional sleep break that most ultra runners took part in, Cliff took a fraction of the time the others took and just kept going, eating pears straight out of a tin as he ran to give him energy. By the following morning, to much of the amazement of everybody, Cliff had built up a substantial lead. It was an impressive performance, but the old-timer was inevitably going to relinquish his lead when he needed to stop for a proper break himself. Only he never needed to do so. He was driven by the belief that he could rest for as long as he wanted once the race was over. Nobody had told Cliff he was supposed to stop for every 6 hours every evening, so he just kept on running and running and running. Cliff did the unexpected in finishing the race, but he did the truly remarkable in not just winning it, but amazing a staggering 10-hour winning margin. Cliff Young decided what was possible for him, not for his family, his friends, or even society as a whole. He set his parameters in life and set his own beliefs about what he could achieve. A 61-year-old amateur rewrote the book on distant running. Suddenly others realised what was possible and started to believe that if Cliff could do it, so could they. They didn't suddenly increase their stamina overnight, but they did increase their belief in what was possible. No athlete has ever won the Sydney to Melbourne race since then, taking regular sleep breaks. Second one is a bit more of a Christmassy story. Everybody can use extra money around the holidays, and Christmas is UPS's busiest season. I signed up for a temporary route. Who knew how much I'd love this job? One rainy afternoon, a couple of days before Christmas, I carried a box up a walkway. 3 faces appeared at the window as I approached. The front door opened and a woman stuck her head out. "Could you go round the back?" she whispered. I gave her a wink. This wasn't the first time I'd helped a mum keep a Christmas a surprise. "Did the kids see?" my driver Dan asked when I got back to the truck. I shook my head, but not for lack of trying. We laughed and started off down the street. Now I know how Santa Claus feels. I really did feel like Santa Claus. There was nothing like bringing people something they actually really needed or wanted. Steaks, books they couldn't wait to read, even a replacement bathroom fixings were fun to deliver, especially if they were a gift for someone else. A lot of people would be a happy Christmas morning, in part because of me. We turned onto a short street with only 3 houses. We knew it well. As we pulled up to stop, a woman came to the back of the truck. "Do you have something for me?" she asked, pointing to a house. She sounded anxious. "I'm sorry, today's package is for the house next door." "Mine must have got lost," she said. Dan and I exchanged a look of concern. We'd delivered 1,440 packages without a glitch. We didn't want even one to go astray. "Maybe one of your neighbours has it," I said. I checked at the house next door, but they had no extra packages, and no one answered at the house across the street. "They're the only other people on the block," I said. The woman looked on the verge of tears. "What was in it?" "A Santa suit," she said. I might have laughed if she didn't look so upset. Obviously this Santa suit was important. "My husband is going to wear it Christmas Eve. We want to make this Christmas extra special for our son. He's 7 and he's been very sick." We had to find that package, and according to our tracking records, we had definitely delivered the woman's package to the right street, but not the right address. The package had to be in that empty house. We didn't even have a phone number. For the next few days, I thought of nothing except that package, but the house stayed empty and I had no way of getting inside. Santa could solve this problem, my magic, I thought as I climbed into the back of the truck for the last day on the job. December the 23rd. I needed God's help. Please let me find that package. It would be the best Christmas gift you could give me. All day I prayed for a miracle, but none came. Just after sunset, we turned down the little street once more. As we passed the house with the sick child, I spotted his mother standing in a garage. She looked sad, like she'd given up. Maybe it was time I did too. "Hey," Dan said, "the garage door's open." He pointed across the street. For the first time in days, there were signs of life at the mystery house. A couple was getting out of the car. I almost broke my neck running over to catch them. "Did you find a package by any chance? A package that doesn't belong here?" "We've just pulled in to check our friend's house," one of them said. "They're on vacation, but would be glad to look around for you." Moments later, I was springing across the street with the long-lost box in my hands. "UPS, we deliver," I announced as I handed it over. "I've been trying to find a replacement suit for days," the woman said. "Nobody could get it to us by Christmas Eve." Just then, a little boy came to the door. He seemed fragile, but with the innocent face of an angel. "This man has brought us a very important package," his mother told him. The boy looked up at me. "Thank you," he said. "Do you like fruitcake?" He went into the house and returned with a box wrapped with a ribbon. "Merry Christmas," he said. "Looks like you got a present too," Dan said when I got to the back of the truck with the box. I sure did, and I didn't mean the fruitcake. So thank you for listening to me. I'll now hand you to Sandra.
Thank you so much. I am definitely in the Christmas mood. Wow, who knew that all it would take is a Sunday gathering and some festive tops, and here we are. Well, friends, we're going to go into our healing segment, and this is an opportunity for us to send healing to all those who need it in the world. And of course, anytime we give, we also receive. We play a beautiful song. This song chosen is by 2 of the original members of the play Wicked, Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. But as we go into healing in this theme of believe, I think each and every one of us have had those moments of magic and miracles and synchronicities. And I really do, that the spirit world uses our energy and directs it to where it's needed in the world. And while we visualize people and places healthy, well, whole, perfect, I think if we give a little extra and we take a walk down memory lane in our own minds at some of those magical times or some of your favorite moments, maybe even times that you've had a real good laugh with someone, And with that, we're going to go into our song and into our healing. And then when the healing song is done, you're going to hear next from Scott, who will be giving our address. So let me find this song for you. And here is our healing.
Thank you so much. And I hope in whatever capacity that this healing balm that we have thought and we have fed goes out to where it's needed most. When did you believe in Christmas? When did you believe that the family should come together and celebrate the festival of light? Throughout life we grow and we may become distracted, and that inner child that once was seems to be silent. And then if you are blessed to have children or have family that have given birth, you start to fall back in love. You continue to make that dream become the reality. This time of year seems to be a stressful time leading up to a day where we celebrate the coming together. But it's also a painful reminder that as we look over our shoulder of the year that has passed, our family may not be so large as it once was, and the joy that once was, the laughter that was once heard, may not be there. Sometimes that we must be reminded that as a medium, that do you believe in the spirit world or do you know? And it's a big jump from believing to knowing, but it's one that we come to in our own acceptance. I believe this day that we came together virtually from a dark time. COVID made us all go to prison within our own walls. And from that gentle ripple that we sit here today at our 245th anniversary, an idea that came about by standing in a queue when Darren and Sandra looked at each other and said, we can do something. We can bring a community together. For grief does not care how old or young you are, rich or poor, educated or not, grief comes. And from that moment, they believed in a situation that has now become a reality. But do we dare dream of time to come and set in motion of saying, I believe this time next year that our community will be greater. The grief that we may feel may be a little bit lighter. We hear stories, you and I, of how life can turn so quickly. But also we hear stories of great communities coming together. We must accept and understand that certain religions may not support or same raise that glass at this time of year, but they're respectful to know that we who share love, because this time of year is about learning to love, learning to forgive, turning that page in the book of life and understanding that we can leave behind footprints. We get told from the unseen that the great lie is death, as there is no death. But sometimes it punches us and we are reminded of the pain that comes. Have you considered when you decorate your tree or light your candles, that as you do so, you invite those who once were and say, draw close and help me. Join in this time. And unknown to you or numb to your touch, that the spirit people, your family, place their hand upon you as a gentle reminder that we've not gone anywhere. We sit with you where you think. We stay with you when you dream. And sometimes we are lucky enough to have those dreams where we hold each other once again. And when we wake from that sleep and we realize it was a dream, then we may cry. But why do we stop believing? Because we were told that we walk in two worlds, We walk with our eyes open, and then we slip and dream and see the possibilities. Why can we not make our dreams a reality? For that song we've just heard must have come from an idea. And with a bit of belief, a little bit of reassurance, and some defiance, when people say you can't do so, you smile sweetly and think, no, I must. Not too long ago, Sandra shared a story of when she herself fell into a dark time, and she took a simple telephone and sat within her car when no one else knew what she was doing, and she set in motion by speaking about her pain and speaking about how she could find. Her community has grown far beyond her imagination. Christmas to me is a time where we do something different. Christmas is a time where we look and we be thankful. We may overspend and eat too much and grow a size within our clothes, but then we also must remember that this world in which we live in 2024 has seen so much. And there's a lot of unrest, and there will remain unrest for maybe another few years. But those who have lived through war or grievance will always soldier for peace. It was once said, peace on earth, and we echo it today, peace once again. When there are holidays, I smile, especially when it comes to this time of year or Valentine's, and we take one day to tell someone how much they mean and how much we love them. And I said to the spirit world, do you celebrate these holidays? And they said, of course we do, but we celebrate them every day. We tell each other how much they mean. We always say how much we love you. We're always very loving and give tokens of gifts and gratitude. But your world seems to use one day a year. So will you now believe that you are loved? Will you now accept that you're not alone? Even though that you may sit at your table today or tomorrow or on that big day that's approaching us, and know that around you there are the invisible. The language of the Spirit is love, and if you have love in the heart, we will always connect with our loved ones. So when people say to me, Scott, do you believe in the spirit world? With a strong voice, I always say, no, I don't believe. I know. I've been lucky enough to have conversations, and I pray that one day that we move all of us from believing to knowing, and maybe then we will have peace on earth. I'm wearing the Grinch. He's wearing Donald Duck. The Grinch is a wonderful story of how someone can change their views very, very quickly, and how the Grinch, who seems devoid of love, can fall in love and bring peace. And we pray that all the leaders of our world will find that love and bring peace once again. So my words are short this day, but I hope they mean something to you all. And I would like to say my own personal Merry Christmas, and may your holidays, however you celebrate them, be warm and happy in the knowledge that all those who have gone before you are there with you now. Take care.
Beautiful words. Thank you so much, Scott. Wow, I could have Christmas feast today. I feel it's the day. I do. Well, there's more to come, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time we move into our demonstration of mediumship. And our loved ones do not just show up on our Sundays or Monday mornings if you're down under. They're with us. They continue to learn and explore and grow in the unseen world, but they easily keep one eye on us, one foot in our world. And we have our demonstration of mediumship included on our Sunday gatherings to give everyone a little taste of just how close they are. And yes, there'll be some members of our community today that will get a reading, but I have been saying lately, and I really like this, that you see Dominic, Scott, Darren, and myself as what Zoom calls the panelists. And we hope that our words impact everyone. Well, those friends that come and work through Dominic today in the spirit world, let's call them panelists in the spirit world. Because if you listen in closely, even though there'll be members that do get readings, listen in closely, pull the readings towards you, see how close they really are, witnessing things in our lives. And it happens more times than not that some of the words that they share as a message is just the words I need to hear. So our friends in the spirit world really do come for all of us. They are our panelists on the other side. And how our demonstration works is Dominic is a longtime medium, and he'll work in his own way, requesting those in the spirit world to work with him. They will present themselves in their own unique way using everything he's got. Sometimes it's memories, thoughts, feelings, pictures, could be scents, could be tastes, could be smells. You just don't know. We are all still unique and we are still us, even as we migrate to the other side. So they'll use whatever they've got. And you'll hear Dominic give a description about the person that has connected with him. We want everybody to be on the edge of your seat for this part because the spirit world knows exactly who's with us today. You may be out for a walk thinking nobody knows you're listening to this. Oh yes, your loved ones know, but everybody listen in. If you can understand all the information that Dominic has delivered as someone that you know that no longer walks this earth. All right, that's the one thing they all have in common. They no longer walk this earth. Could be a friend, could be a loved one, could be somebody a little distant. But if you can understand his description as your person, that person that you know, that no longer walks this earth, we want you to press your raise hand button. So this is the time that everybody, even if you've been on 245 times, find that raise hand button and press it for me. If you're on an iPad or a phone, you might need to press a couple of little dots there, and then the raise hand will go up. Thank you all for participating. And now it should say lower hand, and you want to get used to pressing that lower hand. Sometimes it happens that there's more than one person who can take all the information. And so Dominic will continue to work and we'll get down to that one person with their hand raised. So you'll need to know where that lower hand button is. Because we have over 150 people with us here today, we're going to ask that you just raise your hand if you can take all of the information. All right? That's how that works. Now, when you work with Dominic today or any medium in the future, whether it's one-on-one or whether it's in a gathering, let the medium do the work. There's a nice expression, don't feed the medium, let them bring forth those words and that evidence. Sometimes it happens, in fact, very often it happens that we might get a reading and the medium might ask us questions or we might volunteer information. And you're left wondering, did the medium really bring through my loved one or did I volunteer that? So just so there's no mistake, we'll let Dominic do the work. All we need from you is a nice, clear yes, no, or I don't know to the information he gives. Certainly if something doesn't fit, don't lie to us. Tell the truth. You can say no. It simply means a new opportunity. So yes, no, or I don't know. Okay, and that's as simple as that. And everybody else who does not receive a reading today, you're listening in, right? You're pulling the information towards you. You're seeing just how close the love really is. And these folks that come through and working with us today, they're working on behalf of all of our loved ones. They truly are. Now, we're going to play another piece of music, this nice feel-good piece of music. This is from the movie Wicked, Defying Gravity, one of my favorites. And as that's playing, it's a beautiful time to just feel the love from your loved ones. Use that imagination that's so powerful. And I tell you, sometimes we think we're creating it ourselves, but often that's just the way they show up themselves to us. So enjoy the song, pack your room filled with that love from your loved ones. And then when we come back, we'll have the demonstration with Dominic. So let me find our next song for you. I love that song. Dominic, over to you, my friend.
Oh, I was so busy singing away there. I was ever so glad that I was muted. I feel spoiled. Wicked is one of my most favoritists musicals, so I'm in my little bubble. But let me just allow myself to become aware for a moment and see who we become aware of. So I'm aware of Mum stepping forward from the spirit world here. And I know when Mum would have been here physically, she would have spent time working either as an accountant or working with banking, because I know that I want to talk about being very well organized with the finances, with the accounts, with the receipts, with the books, as I connect here with her. But I know that there would be something to do with either being misdiagnosed or late diagnosed, because I know that by the time that we start to become aware of her health, there's already too much going on, and I feel maybe things started to spread with her. But she comes across as the type of lady whose cup is half full rather than half empty, is certainly what I want to say with this beautiful lady as well.
Thank you very much. All right, friends, if you can understand all that information, go ahead and press your raise hand button. Dominic, we have 4 lovely folks with their hands raised.
Fabulous. I know that I should be connecting with either a Jean or a Jane, but I'm very much aware of a female Jean or Jay name as I'm connecting with Mum as well.
Thank you. We have Alina, Janine, and Jen with their hands raised.
Let me try Jan, or Jen, sorry.
Jen, okay. And other ladies, just keep listening in. Jen, if you could press your unmute button, you should see that now. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Hey,
Welcome.
sweetie. Would you understand this being Mum, sweetie?
Yes,
Yes, and you understand where I get the impression of working with the accounts or working in banking with the finances?
she was a bookkeeper.
Bookkeeper, fabulous. And would you understand where I also get the impression of feeling like, almost like I feel time moved very quick when it came to Mum's health, because I felt either a late diagnosis or a misdiagnosis. Something really bothered me with this feeling of her health, sweetie.
Yes,
Okay. I don't want to get into too much of her health because I'd rather focus on how your beautiful mum lived rather than how she passed. But I know that when it would be coming up to holidays and the Christmas period, she certainly, what I would say, would be running around like a headless chicken. And what I mean by this is still trying to work and still trying to prepare the family and make things come together. But I know that she was able to orchestrate it very flawlessly, if I could say that to you. Would that be correct?
she did.
Yep, because I know she's telling me to say to you that she's trying to support you and help you find that peace as well. But there's elements of feeling like you're just not quite in that spirit or not able to quite get to that Christmas spirit at the moment. So I know that she's trying to nourish you and just what I feel, just trying to give you a sense of peace at the moment. Would you understand that?
Yes,
Perfect. Because I know as she's connecting here with me, she's telling me to acknowledge it doesn't matter what you have and what you don't have. You can only give what you have in the moment, is certainly what I want to say to you. And I do feel as well, if I was to talk about the memories with your mum, and everyone decorates a Christmas tree or maybe hangs a stocking, that's normal, isn't it? But I know that I want to talk about your mum doing her best to bring the Christmas spirit into something that maybe we didn't always have. And what I mean by this is maybe when times were tough or times were difficult, she always tried to make the magic of Christmas seem so special, even if she was struggling herself, darling.
yes,
Yep. And I know that I want to talk about either yourself or a sibling, but I feel I want to talk about Christmas ornaments or Christmas baubles that may have been passed through the family or still belonging to mum. Do you have these?
um, I have one that belonged to her mother, but we got rid of
Perfect.
all of the other ones.
That's okay, because I just feel I want to talk about what's passed through, and what I feel she's really trying to get to, sweetie, is it's more about the sentimental rather than the commercial. It's more about what we can do for each other rather than what we can give to each other. So I know that your mum is trying to look on that more glass half full rather than half empty, if I can say that to you. Just as I finish with your mum, she does tell me to say that she did hear you say goodbye to her. And I know it wasn't a goodbye the way that we planned or the way that we would have liked, but she left knowing and hearing that you loved her. Would you accept that, sweetie?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel just as that message from your mum, do not think of life any different. She's grateful she had the moments and the life and the memories that she did. You keep believing in yourself and keep believing in the spirit, because your mum's handprint is forever on your heart, darling.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mom.
You are very welcome. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak with you, darling.
Thank you.
I've got this gentleman stepping forward here just now, and it's quite interesting what he keeps showing me here. But I know as I connect here with him, he would have been um, very good with his hands and with tools. I almost feel like he's making things with wood. If I could say to you, I don't feel he is a carpenter by trade, but I feel a hobby, because I know he would have. I think it's called a spindle, or something that would engrave things, and something that could make things, because I know that I want to talk about engraving things on wood and making things with wood, and maybe something to do with wooden pens, etc. But he brings my attention to the wood here, but he makes me feel he goes to the spirit world suddenly or unexpectedly, because I feel there's something to do with his passing being relatively a shock or a surprise, is what I feel with this man. But I want to talk about his workshop, if you would, or perhaps just his garage where he had all his tools. But he brings my attention to the tools, the wood, the making things, the creating of things. But this feeling of his passing being unexpected or sudden is what I want to say with him. And I know as I connect here with him as well, I feel he leaves his wife behind. So I know that his wife, maybe connecting with us, are still here, because he talks to me about his dear lady, his beautiful wife as well.
Thank you very much. All right, friends, who understands this gentleman, go ahead and press your raise hand button. Now, again, you have to accept all of the information, okay? We have, oh my goodness, we have 8 people with their hands raised.
8. Okay, wonderful. Let me go dig a little bit more. I almost felt as if he would have passed in his sleep or passed at home, because again, I'm very aware of this feeling of someone finding him, or someone trying to arouse him or wake him, is what I feel here. And again, I still get the impression of wife as I say this as well.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, friends, I'm going to lower all of your hands. If you can take all the information, including he passed in his sleep and he was found, go ahead and raise your hand again. All right, we have 4 ladies with their hands raised.
Oh, crumbs. Let me see what else. And I feel there should be a connection with Dawn or Dan, like a D sounding name. I don't know if would be Donald, but I don't get that very clear. But I feel like Dawn or Dan may be connected with this gentleman as well. And I feel that you still have elements of his tools, because I know there's some tools being given to people, but I know there's still, perhaps in the garage or in his workroom, still tools being there as well.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we have 4 ladies with their hands raised. Now, if you do not understand the Don or Dan name, go ahead and lower your hand, please. We're trusting you all that you can take all the information.
They're making me work.
They're making you work. We have Michelle, Anna, Sunshine, and Laura, all with their hands raised, who say they can take all the information.
Okay, and just to see if I can get this down to a little bit more, I know as I connect with this gentleman, he would have been in his early 70s, I feel. I feel late 60s, early 70s as I connect with this gentleman's age as well.
Thank you very much. A few hands gone down. This gentleman, late 60s, early 70s. All right, we have Gail with her hand raised. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. It's always important to get to the right person. Gail, if you could press your unmute button. Hello, Gail.
Hello, how is everybody today?
Good. Thank you very
Hey,
much.
so Gail, you would understand where I've got this gentleman that I feel would have passed very suddenly or unexpectedly at home, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and you understand where I've got the woodwork or the workshop where he would have been doing things creatively with his tools with wood.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because I know that I want to talk about it's not just trying to fix things. I feel there's a hobby or there's a love for trying to create things and build things. And like I said, the spindle, I think that's the word, the spindles, and I can see it shaving some things and carving things. But
Oh,
would
yes.
there would have been something that he made for you that may have, my sweetheart or my love. Like I feel a sentimental engravement. Would you remember this?
Yes.
Perfect. Because I know as he connects here with me, he's telling me to say that knows that you he knows that you didn't really know what to do with the remaining of his tools or the tools and the junk he says that he left behind. Would that be correct?
Oh, yes.
Yes, because he keeps telling me to talk about how he had several things that you would look and say, well, why does he have two of these and why have four? Or what's this? Like he had so many, because he tells me to acknowledge, well, you have shoes, I have tools, and you have dishcloths, I have tools. So he's trying to make excuses here, but I know that he wants me to acknowledge a sense of sadness that he was taken from us too soon, if I can say that to you. And what I mean by this, and I'm sorry, but he makes me feel we weren't quite ready to say goodbye. We weren't ready to not have each other. So I know that suddenness and that unexpectedness was very difficult, if I can say the least. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And would you understand as well where the Dawn or the Dan name would connect?
His name was Don.
His name, perfect, fabulous, because he keeps bringing this back to me. Would you understand, though, my darling, and I mean this politely, as much as he would spend all the beautiful time in his workshop and his garage and doing his things, he wouldn't necessarily be very handy around the house, though, would he?
No, that would have been my mom.
Because I feel as he laughs about this, there's elements of, well, just because he's got tools doesn't mean he can fix it all, is certainly what I want to say to you. But what he does keep emphasizing to me is when he did pass over to the spirit world, he was able to reflect back on life and look at the time that he had. And he wants you to know that he was very blessed to have the life that he had, and very blessed to have the family that he had, sweetie. And he says to me, he wouldn't change anything. He wouldn't change anything, even the imperfections. He says, I wouldn't change it. He says, and I hope you know that that's because I love you and I love life and I'm okay with the way things unfolded, is what he tells me. Would you understand?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
I do feel a deep gentleman, and what I mean by that is he may have enjoyed more of his own company rather than being around lots of people, or I feel a deep thinker and really thinking through things. But I know he would be a man of few words, but when he did speak, there was some beautiful pearls of knowledge that would come out of this man's mouth.
No, that's very true.
Yeah, yeah, because he keeps telling me to acknowledge. Look at the life that we had and look at the life you still have ahead of you. He says, take care of yourself and know that I'm just a step ahead, just a step ahead. And that time will come where we will meet again. He says, but stop stressing about the tools. Did I do the right thing? Should I have done this? Should I have given that? Because he doesn't really mind. He says he's just glad that someone else can have the use of them. Did you give tools to a nephew of your fella? Because I feel about to be giving them to other boys.
My mom has given some of the tools to my niece's husband.
Okay, perfect. Because I know that I don't want to say my son, but I felt a generation down, so I know that
Mm-hmm.
he's very grateful for that. If I can say that to you, I could be moved, but would you understand that, and in connection to the name Michael or Mike?
Michael, that would be my grandfather, Michael, who's passed.
That's okay because I just hear him talking of Michael as well. So please let the family know he's with Michael as well, sweetie, if I can say that. And do you understand who Bob would be?
No.
No, that's perfect because it felt different. My darling, I want to thank you sincerely for allowing me to connect with you. But as you move forward through life, just know that he's just a step ahead of you. That's all it is. Keep looking after your mom and share that love and that support. And just know sometimes we don't always have the tools to fix everything. We just have to accept what it is. Okay, sweetie?
Yes. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for allowing me to speak with you. So I'm very much aware of a lady that steps forward here just now. And the moment I connect with this lady, and I'm sorry for saying this, but I know that she would have been very well put together, very elegant, dresses very well, not smart, I don't mean that, but just dresses very well, looks after herself. And I know she goes to the spirit world, she would have had what I can only describe as a hard struggle on her shoulders. I know there would have been appointments of seeing different specialists. There would have been appointments of going to different doctors, different hospitals, dealing with different medications. And, you know, this lady definitely did not go without a fight. And I feel that she prayed and she healed and she done her own, is what I want to say. But she's telling me to talk about being able to go to sleep and not need to keep fighting anymore. And it feels like a weight of the world lifted off this lady's shoulders, is what I want to say. I know she would be in the spirit world with her own father, because she tells me to say she met with her father in the spirit world as well, as I connect here with her. I don't know if there's cancer and maybe something that then goes into the head, or a condition that makes her I don't really know what I mean by that actually, but I just feel there's something to do with one thing, like I said, cancer, and then something affecting the head as I connect with this beautiful lady. I know I want to talk about you need to get the Christmas tree. So I know that there may be elements of not wanting to celebrate Christmas, or maybe a first Christmas without her, but she tells me we must get the Christmas tree. So I don't think she wants to break any habits.
Thank you very much. If you can understand all of this information, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Dominic.
And just to throw in, I just
Okay.
feel there may be a
Yep.
connection to Elizabeth or Lizzie or Beth, just to surrender that as well.
Okay. We have Pam, Karen, and Pete all with their hands raised.
I'm going to speak to Pete, actually, because I actually felt as if I was a wife hoping to speak to a husband, but I could be wrong. But let me just check with Pete for a moment.
All right, Pete, if you could unmute yourself. Hi, Pete.
Hiya. Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Pete. Would you understand what I've said so far?
Everything. I don't know, honestly, the connection with Elizabeth, but everything else is right.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you don't understand the Elizabeth, would you understand if I says to you that this was a battle that maybe I went through for several months?
Yes.
Yes, because if you don't understand the name, I'll go to my own association. But remember how I talked about being very well dressed, well, well looked after and looking
Exactly.
well. I don't want to say that as, oh, look at me, I've lots of money. Nothing like that. I just
No.
feel she took great pride in looking after herself. I know that she liked to have her hair set in different ways, and she would have cardigans or tops that would match certain things. And I feel there would be elements of you doing your best to help her still feel good or look good. Would you agree with that?
I would, yes.
Yes, because I know that she wants me to acknowledge to you that maybe 4 weeks before she passes to the spirit world, feeling like she wasn't a shadow of the woman she once was, and feeling that she didn't quite have the same energy to maybe get up and move around or anything, if I can say that to you.
That's true. That's true.
And would you understand if I says to you as well, the life that you and I lived was an adventure, and I feel like maybe we moved around a lot or traveled a lot, but I want to talk about the adventure that you and I lived together as well was certainly second to none, is what she tells me.
Yes, we had a lovely time together.
Fabulous, because I want to talk about, in her words, you gave me so much more than you realize, so much more than you realize. And I know that she wants to tell me to say to you that she is so happy that her battle is over. But she tells me, this is her words, she tells me that you kissed her goodnight and you let her know it was okay to let go. Would you agree?
Yes, I've done that, yes.
Because she tells me to tell you that you gave her the greatest gift of all, and that was letting go. That was letting go and being able to be free, if I can say that to you. She does tell me to tell you this, sounds so bizarre. She tells me to say that the flowers smell more stronger than ever, and the birds sing louder, and the colours seem more vibrant. So I know towards the end she may not have had the senses that maybe we do with being able to smell or see very well or hear very well. And I just feel like she wants to come in and give you a good old dance and, let's do a little foxtrot or a dance. And I feel she just tries to light you up. But would there be a photograph beside you of this beautiful lady?
Not at this present time, not here, but I've got photographs, yes, but not one here. Mostly
Okay.
on the phone these days.
That's okay. Well, I feel like I want to talk about a photograph in a frame, and it's not on a wall. It's on what I would say a table or a bureau. But she talks to me about the beautiful way that she looks. I almost feel she's attending someone's wedding or an event, but I know that she would be wearing maybe like a lilac or a purple color in some way. And
Yes.
she just keeps trying to show me, this is the way I want you to see me now. This is the way I want you to know that I am now. And would you or this beautiful lady have a connection to May or Mary?
Trying to think.
Don't think too much. I just feel this is also
No, I can't
someone
think
in
of
the
one
spirit
offhand.
world she would be with, and I feel very much like an aunt, but I feel she stands with her father, if I can say that to you.
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
can understand that.
But that's what I'm being told to say. And just as an extra little piece, just to your own little evidence, if I can say that to you, were you recently looking through a handbag or a bag belonging to her that you found some pieces?
Yes,
Yes, because I know she tells me to acknowledge it doesn't matter how long or how short you keep things, she says, because I'm going nowhere. I'm going nowhere. She hears you talk to her all the time because in the house she has her own specific chair, doesn't she, beside the door?
yes.
Yes, and she tells me to acknowledge to you that she's still there and watching over you, but you gave her the greatest life, and she's very grateful for that. I know that there's something to do with the Christmas tree, and I don't know why, but have you been
Yes,
hesitant on celebrating Christmas tree or getting the tree down?
yes. So you're the second person who's told me that. I've got to get the
Okay.
tree up and put
Yep.
it up.
Fabulous. Good validation. But again, I just feel what she's trying to show you is life still goes on, life celebrates. But if you don't celebrate, she's not able to celebrate. So I guess
Oh,
what she's cheekily trying to say, Pete, is
yeah.
don't deprive me of being able to celebrate. You see?
I wouldn't want
So
to do that.
again, no, absolutely, she'll haunt you. But I know she just wants to say to you, thank you for giving her the greatest gift of all, and that was being able to let go. Because when she passed over, she was able to get that spring back in her step and get back on her feet. And what she did do was get her life back. So whatever you did, however great or small, it made such a difference to this beautiful lady. So
That's
sincerely,
lovely.
thank you for allowing me to chat with
Thank
you.
you, Dominic. Thank
You're
you very
very
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Oh my.
Okay. So I'm very much aware of a young man stepping forward here just now, and I feel he's in his 40s as I connect here with him. And I know as I connect here with him, there would be a connection to interested. I almost feel it'd be a connection to either him being in the military or being in the Marines or the Navy, but I don't feel he would have been in combat. I also get the impression of wanting to talk about issues with his blood. So I feel there's either a sepsis or infection in his blood that I feel would have been caused by issues with his kidneys or his liver. I know I want to talk about the organs just weren't able to work very well is what he makes me feel here. I know as I connect with him, also there would be a connection to the name Matt or the name Matthew, and I know that I also want to talk about Tim or Timothy, Timothy, that I hear as well here, but he just keeps showing me being sick, being in hospital, and trying to hold on, and things just not going very well as is this way that he gives me here. But the thing about the organs is throwing me because I'm not a doctor, but I know I want to talk about the organ failure, the kidney, the liver, something going on wrong there.
Thank you very much. All right, friends, who understands this information, go ahead and press your raise hand button for us. All right, we have Laura with her hand raised. Laura, if you could unmute yourself. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hey, sweetie, you understand the issue with the kidney or the liver and the issues with the blood, sweetie?
Yes.
Yes, and again, I'm not a doctor, so forgive me if I'm getting it slightly wrong, but I just know that I want to talk about the doctors and the nurses doing everything they possibly could to give him a fighting chance. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you understand the Matt or the Matthew connection and the Tim or Timothy?
Definitely Timothy, not the Matt or Matthew.
Okay, that's okay. I'll go back and see if there's more to that. But I also know as he's connecting with me, he wants to talk about the people and the family closest to him, including maybe yourself, still do a lot to celebrate and to yeah, to celebrate his efforts and his life. Would you agree with this, sweetie?
Yes.
Yes, because I know he wants to talk about even Christmas time. People actually place a placemat out for him or do a toast for him. Like I
Mhm.
know that his passing wasn't in vain, if I can certainly say that to you. You see,
Yes.
a little bit of a comedian, if I can say that in his own right,
Mhm.
darling.
Yes.
Because I know that I want to talk about trying to make people laugh and silly things like, pull my finger or, give me this or whatever. But I know that he was certainly a funny person. Do you know? He actually kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey, to be honest with you. You know how he's got different personalities and character?
Yes.
That's how he makes me feel, you see. But I do feel there would have been something to do with either being in the Navy or the Marines or the military with him. Is that also true?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's where I feel there's a great sense of pride with him because, again, I don't necessarily feel he went to combat, but I know he's very proud of being able to have done his part, done his pieces, but also I know that he talks about pride within the uniform as well, sweetie. But I don't feel he is the only one that would spend time in the services. Does he have a brother or someone also that would be in the services?
Other family members, not
Okay,
brother.
sweetie. Okay, because I feel like he likes to look out for them, he likes to support them and see how they're doing as well, is certainly what I want to say to you. Um, would I also be correct to say that there was efforts or conversations to bring him home to pass?
Yes.
Yes, because I know he keeps telling me to say being able to come home and be surrounded by those I love and who loved me made it easier for me. I feel there was elements of him just trying to always put on a brave face and trying to be strong for everyone else, but maybe deep inside he just didn't really know what was going on or where he was going at times as well, if I can say that to you.
Mm.
Um, there must have been talk of either trying to get him a transplant or get him onto a list to try other efforts, which I actually feel he was too weak to have succeeded.
Yes.
Yes, because he keeps telling me to say it doesn't matter because the
Mm.
greatest thing is I left knowing I was loved. But I feel his passing had helped open up other doors or other research or other things. So maybe his organs being donated or other things. But I know that he has seen his passing being able to benefit others to a degree as well, sweetie. So if I can
Okay.
say that to you. Um, he keeps telling me to say happy birthday, so I know that there would be a birthday coming up in the next week or so that he wants to say he's still seeing everyone celebrate and being happy as well. So pass the celebrations on wherever you see fit to, if I can say that to you, sweetie. Um, I want you to just bear in mind the Matt or the Matthew, I feel would have been someone that he may have went through hospital or different appointments with in similar situation, but maybe someone he became a friend of or a support of to a degree. Maybe if you ask, someone will validate that for you, Laura. But
Okay.
he keeps telling me to um, it's as if he keeps trying to poke a joke about Christmas, and it's funny because it makes me feel that you're getting pulled in three different directions. I'm not sure if three different people or three different families are wanting you
Yes.
to come round for Christmas, but he's laughing. He's like, "Yeah, well, you can go for turkey there, you can go for pudding there, you can go for drinks there." So it's
Mm.
almost like he's trying to be funny of, you know, you've got decisions to make, and it's okay to do all or do none. Would that be true?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because he just laughs at this. I also keep hearing what sounds to me like Chrissy or Christine. So I know there's a Chrissy or
Yes.
Christine that he's connecting to as well. And maybe you have to go to her. I don't know. I'll come along with you if you wish. But he just keeps telling me to say thank you for everything you said to him and everything that you did for him. As life moves forward, you still carry him with you. And I know that sharing the memories and the stories of this beautiful man is still very important to you all. That's for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Miss
Thank you.
Sweetie, thank you very much for allowing me to chat with you. But as you move forward, keep celebrating and just know that every so often he's doing the mask in your face or trying to make you laugh with the Jim Carrey pranks.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Beautiful.
How are we doing for time, Sandra?
We,
One more?
we have time if you want to do one more. Sure.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Okay.
So I know very much as I allow the spirit to come forward here just now, I'm very much aware there's this lady that keeps coming forward here, and I do feel that she would be grandma. I do feel she'd be your nan or your grandma, but she does bring to my attention of wanting to talk about going to the theatre, going to the musicals, going to see ballet, because I know that she would have loved to. I don't want to say she performed herself, but I know that she loves the theatrics. I know that she loves the shows and the dancing. I know that you would have memories with her of her trying to get you to perform or you doing the dancing in the kitchen or the sitting room. I know that there's a connection to the name Pat or Patricia because I hear that very, very clear. And I also feel there should be a connection with like a Sarah or a Sue or something, but I keep getting the Sue name that's being mentioned here to me. I do get the impression that she starts to either take dementia or Alzheimer's because she talks to me about the confusion within her mind towards the end as I connect here with her.
Thank you very much. All right, friends, who understands this lady, press your raise hand button. Okay, we have Sunshine, Patricia, and Jay with their hands raised.
I want to check with Patricia because I heard that name very clear. So let me just check with Patricia.
Patricia, if you would unmute yourself, please.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Patricia. Do you understand with this lady about the musicals, the performing, the dancing, going to the shows?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And would you understand if I was to say to you as well that you would have memories of her almost like carrying on and playing along with you when you were younger, of getting you to do little shows or little performances for her?
Yes.
Yeah, because she keeps telling me to acknowledge that as much as she started to have issues with her head and issues with the memories, she was locked in the good memories of watching the family and the times that she had. So as much as it may have seemed that she wasn't fully aware or not fully there, she certainly was reminiscing on all the good times that you all had with her, is simply what I want to say to you, sweetie.
Thank you.
And I know that I want to talk about the ballet for some reason, like the Nutcracker and Swan Lake and things. And I feel secretly she just loved the whole atmosphere of the show or the theatre, the music, the buzz with it. And you would have went to some shows with her?
Yes.
Yes, because I know that I want to thank you for coming with me. Okay, I want to thank you for coming with me. Would you understand the S as well, the Susan or the Sue?
Maybe Sandy.
So, okay, that's fine. But again, I just know that I want to talk about still, being aware of everyone and seeing how everyone's going and what's going on with the family as well, sweetie, if I can say that. You haven't recently been talking about going to a theatre or show, have you?
Well, yes.
Okay, because she keeps telling me she's doing this and nudging me, like, let her know I'm coming, let her know I'll be there with her. So I feel like I should go and maybe different shows to what she would have liked, but she's going to be coming with you because she still wants to celebrate these fun times, the excitement times, and like I said, the buzz, if I can say that to you. Would you accept also if I was to acknowledge to you the feeling that not everyone got to be with her or got to say goodbye to her when she passes, sweetie?
Yes.
She did it her way, is what I need you to know. When she realized that everyone had known that she loved them and everyone was okay, she was happy to go on her own merit. And I think that's something very important for you all to to celebrate, if I can say that, to know that she called the shots. She made the decisions to settle what I want to say to you, sweetie. I don't know why I'm going to say this to you, but I think it should be evidential. Do you know when people were clearing her home and looking through some things, if they came across an old program from a musical or a theatre that we attended together?
I think so.
Yeah, because I know I want to talk about the pieces of memorabilia, if I can say that to you, that may still be here. And I just want to throw it in there, but I keep wanting to say hello, Dolly. Okay?
Yes.
Hello, Dolly.
Yes.
Do you understand that? Perfect.
Absolutely.
Because she keeps telling me to say, that was the one, that was the one. You see? So I want you to know that she has the biggest stage in the spirit world, and she has got all the theatrics to sit and watch. And that's our reality here. She's watching you all as you're all putting on your show and putting on your best. So please know that she's still singing along and laughing and clapping with you all.
What a wonderful gift.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for allowing me to chat with you. Sincerely.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Sandra, I will hand back to you, the hostess with the mostess.
Thank
Lady
you
in Red.
so much for that. That was a lovely gift for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, that just shows how close our loved ones are. They're part of our lives. They wish us to be included in and us to continue on our holiday festivities. I know it's difficult, but we're all here for you and with you, and we are a very real community. We are. I've got some announcements to make of great things happening. We've got a lot happening just to keep you in the festive mood, excuse me, knowing that our loved ones are still around. First of all, next Saturday, if you are available, Scott, Dominic, and myself are doing a 5-hour event called Gifts of the Spirit. Scott will be presenting on trance and the altered states, how we can quiet that busy mind, blend with the love from the unseen world, raise that power through sitting in the power, and I do believe even give us an experience to connect with our loved ones. Dominic will be teaching evidential mediumship. Now, all are welcome for this. You don't have to have any training at all, but it's an opportunity to work with our loved ones. We'll be having breakout rooms. You'll be enjoying working with another person, playing with that. There are no expectations, just bring joy, and we see what happens. And at the very end, I'm going to do just a special presentation on some of the different ways we can connect with our own loved ones. Some of them may surprise you. They really will, but to keep your loved ones included in your life and know that they truly are around. So that is next Saturday. Now, everything I'm going to mention will be available and is available on the store page at wedon'tdie.com. All right. So tomorrow you can join Scott and myself. We're kicking off a 4-session class called Trance and the Altered States. Each class is 2 hours. And of course, everything we offer is recorded. So you can join live or you can join and get the replay, and everything has a money back guarantee too. We want you to be happy. But Trance and the Altered States, beautiful class for anyone willing and able to join us. It really is special. On Tuesday, you can join Scott for Sitting in the Power Hours, 2 opportunities, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. London time, to just spend that hour and recharge your spiritual batteries. Beautiful occasions. Following that, there's a medium demonstrations with our friends Carrie and Phil. That starts the same time we started today. So that's holiday messages from the spirit world. On Friday, we're back again with Scott for In the Arms of Eternity. We start with a sitting for healing, followed by an experimental demonstration of trance mediumship. These are always extraordinary opportunities to hear words from the spirit world, and we engage in a conversation about life, death, and the afterlife, and probably the holidays too. And as a reminder, yes, we will be together on Saturday for that 5-hour. After the Sunday gathering next Sunday, we have Chris Jacobs, who was a you've met him here on the Sunday gathering. He will be doing a demonstration for us. So we've got the Sunday gathering with myself, Carrie, and Phil that starts same time as we did today. And then about a half hour after it ends, we have another holiday messages from the spirit world with Chris Jacobs. Again, everything is at wedon'tdie.com. I've got 2 new podcast episodes I think you'd enjoy. A shout out to our friends who have made our Sunday gathering possible by donating. We love you. No pressure to donate, but you guys help us keep it going for everybody in the world. We have a Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com where you can find past Sunday gatherings, register for all upcoming ones, and should you choose to leave a donation, you can do that there. Now, I just want to add a little bit of my thoughts for Believe, our thoughts towards the Sunday gathering today. There's something about our human beingness that we forget about extraordinary things that happen in our life, miracles, synchronicities, even special things like when you fell in love with your spouse or partner, or when you adopted your first pet, or whatever that may be, or the joy you felt graduating school. Things that are really big deals to us, our human beingness turn into no big deal. Well, I want you to consider we are on a planet hurling around an ever expanding universe. Our planet is made with some basic elements, right? We got earth and rock and trees, the vegetation and water. Now, everything that you see, even the internet that we are connected to and whatever phone or tablet or computer you're on, somehow comes from those basic elements. Is that not magical? I think it is. Like, wow. And also, if you were to put a little camera into a little atom that's vibrating around us, you know what it would record? Nothing. Down to our tiniest little bit, all we are is vibrating energy. So we are magic. We are miracles, that we have this intelligence. So I'm asking you for the week ahead and forevermore to pay attention to the magic and miracles and know that if all this is possible, what else is possible? So going into this holiday season, yes, it's easy to look at what you haven't done and things are going to be different. But have that thought of what if there's a miracle? What if there's a synchronicity? What if there's something special just around the corner? And to look at life through the eyes of everything is a miracle. So that's my 2 cents for the words for the week. I'm going to turn it over to Dominic for his, and then we'll turn it over to Scott and Darren.
Perfect, Sandra. Beautiful. We all need something to believe in, don't we? But ladies and gentlemen, you have all joined us here with the belief that life truly is eternal because you've had an experience. Perhaps you have had an experience with a medium that's gave you undoubtable proof that your loved ones are still very much there. Well, let's face it, you wouldn't necessarily be here if you didn't have that belief that there's life after death. But as we move into the holiday period and as we move into Christmas, a lot of you will be wondering, what can I gift someone? What can I gift my son or my daughter or my husband or my best friend? And maybe something simple of letting them know what you know, letting them know that you know there's life after death because of what you have experienced. So do not go out and try to gift them with, something so special that's going to break your bank or cost you a lot of money, but maybe share with them the gift of life after death, whether it's sharing Sandra's podcast, maybe even sharing Sandra's book, whatever it may be, give them the gift of belief that you have that life truly is eternal. And just remember, your loved ones want and do celebrate Christmas with us. So go out, celebrate, and maybe give someone special the gift of, hey, do you know that your loved ones are still here? Well, here's how I know it. Come experience it. So I will hand you back over to Darren for his words of the week.
Well, some people say we look like brothers, and we laugh. But I have to say to you, first of all, before I give you a thought, Dominic's demonstration is like having a breath of fresh air. For someone who has been in the movement for 27 years and seeing many people explore the extraordinary capabilities that they have and traveled the world and seen what I've seen, tonight has been a very special night. And if you didn't receive a contact, take joy that you played a part in bringing a bit of happiness to someone else. So if we look over our shoulder, Christmas last year only seems just a moment ago. And it's very hard to look forward because we think it's so far away and we have time. Live for today. Live for every moment. Squeeze every ounce of happiness out of all those who are physically here. Please get used to saying I love you, because as it's been echoed today, that one day our lives can change, and you may be in the spirit world shouting back to those who love you, who may be mourning and upset, and you're screaming and saying, I've not gone anywhere. And if you are to use a medium's mind through all the highs and lows of their development, you'll get used to saying, Sandra, it's your dad, and I love you. Or Darren, it's your nan, grow up, or wash behind your ears. Because the spirit people that we talk to are living people, and all of us know our loved ones and know our loved ones are there. So please don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Tell all those who you love how much they mean, and that will be a great gift that you give everyone every single day.
Thank you for that. And I won't see a lot of you now until after the holiday season. I've got a few weeks off. So I want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you for every Sunday you've been tuning in throughout this year. And it really is a pleasure to, do these Sunday gatherings on your behalf and, speak with you guys and do everything we do behind the scenes. There's a lot of work goes into these Sunday gatherings, but it's fun, looking for the music, deciding on the theme, deciding who's doing what. It's so pleasurable to do. And when we see your guys' comments and your feedback as we're on here, and I've seen a lot of comments and feedback in the chat box, sadly we can't answer every single comment and feedback coming up. But I just want to say it truly means a lot to all of us here for your kind words, your kind feedback, and just for being you and being here with us week in and week out. We truly do appreciate it. And yeah, we're in that holiday season. We're all happy. We're all jolly. There's lots to be excited about, meeting up with family, friends, whatever it may be. But it's just as happy as it can be quite not so happy for some people, because of people that's gone before us, whether it be people, whether it be animals. But the one thing it's so easy to forget sometimes when you're carried away in that moment, we forget they're always here, and you've heard throughout this Sunday gathering, our loved ones are always, always here. So when you do have that moment over the Christmas period where you're feeling a bit down or a bit low because somebody's not around the table or not within the home, just remember what we've said here and what we've seen here today. Love and life will never die. Our loved ones are always close by. As Dominic's just proved in demonstration of mediumship, they see everything, they share everything, they're part of everything. They're never, never gone. They're like Mr. Santa Claus here. You may not hear them, they may not speak, but they're always here. They're as close as Santa Claus is to me here. Yeah, like that. So just remember that, when you are feeling those moments, we all get them. Just remember our loved ones are as close by as you will believe, or not believe, as may be the case. But just remember, they're always here. They're always part of our lives. They're never gone. They're never far away. And just, guys, have the best Christmas you can ever have. A lot's gone on this year. There's still a lot going on. But just have the best Christmas and the best holidays you can truly have. That will be the biggest gift to all of us, for you to have the best Christmas you can. So thank you very much. And I'll hand you to Scott for our closing prayer.
We never say goodbye. It's till we meet again. And some of us will see each other in the new year. Some of us will see each other very shortly. But in your own way, let us honor those who have gone before. Beloved Creator of all life, for once again we turn the page on the book of life and reminisce on days gone by. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your healing. We thank you for the opportunity to know that life is everlasting. Will this power that built throughout this demonstration now go to where it's needed most? If it is to heal the earth, heal mankind, heal the animals, and much more, let it be done. May we continue to hold the light as a beacon of hope, so that if anyone has lost their way, may they be guided by the love. May our medium continue to have a strong voice and that healing hand as he continues to spread the word of life hereafter. We thank you once again for blessing us with We Don't Die. Until we meet again, we will always be forever grateful. Amen.
Thank you so much, Scott. And thank you, Darren. And thank you, Dominic. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. We love you. And thank you to our friends in the spirit world. We're going to leave with a final peppy song, Sir Elton John and Ed Sheeran with Merry Christmas, one of my favorites. Here we go. Ah, that was great. All right, everyone. We love you. Thank you so much for your kind words in the chat box. WeDon'tDie.com. Click on the store page. You can go to DominicBogue.com. Check out his website. And with that, we'll see you all next Sunday, if not before. Bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.